Warning, the following stunts are done by trained professionals. Actually, we're not trained. Robbie is just a dumbass and decided to do a drunken fantasy football podcast. The thoughts, opinions, and takes are ours and ours only. It is not our fault if you lose in fantasy football or sports gambling. Viewer discretion is advised.
Holy shit. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one and only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. It's your boy Rumboyz Robbie. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Yo, I got the GLD on. You already know how it be. I stay out here, stay shining, stay profiling. You already know what it is. Hey, let's go ahead. Let's take them to the yacht.
Hop out in Miami when no land, ain't got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me on, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Drop GLD for the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, no on zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good friend, girl, where you're not.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What's up? What's up? What's up? Also want to shout out our homies over at All 22. Promo code Rumboyz. That's right. Promo code Rumboyz in all caps. All 22, the latest and greatest fantasy football format. Yo, I've been playing on All 22 for the last 2 years, and I've enjoyed every single moment of it. Some new updates, some new enhancements. You guys can check all that out. Link is down below in the description. Much love, much appreciation. Also, really quick, want to let y'all know Fantasy Football Expo is coming up. Make sure you guys get your tickets. You can head to my Twitter. Also, check out the links here as seen below. Big shout to Bob Lung. Big shout to the Fantasy Football Expo. Big shout to Fantasy Football Advice Network. Again, thank you, Tyler Bradley, for your commitment to this year's event. Hey, we're going to go ahead. We're about to start getting it popping, ladies and gentlemen. Lise, what's good? What's good? What is good? El Matador, the chalk eater. Yo, what's good over on Twitch? Yo, make sure you guys give us a follow on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We're live on Twitch. And we're also live over on my X account as well. I guess we're officially calling it X. We're it's still Twitter to me. Fuck, like, you know. Robbie, happy weekend. What's good, Blue Jays? What's good? Ladies and gentlemen, we do have our co-host backstage, I do believe. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Drop the mic, FF. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
What up, buddy?
Ready to rock and roll. It has been a action-packed week. Let's go ahead. Let's take a shot. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the rum boys and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly. Love and appreciate all of you. Woo! What a week it has been. By the way, if you guys need anything for like play props or etc., check out my underdog link down below as well. Been killing it over there. Been having a whole lot of fun over there. We're just gonna dive right into it, bro, because fuck, what a crazy week it's been.
I'm going to the show. I'm going to the show sheet right now.
All good. I had to pull it up myself. Look, this past week, it's the news that everyone's talking about. We're talking about the cover athlete right out the gate. Justin Fields and his dog basically hit 50 cent levels of petty when both Instagram accounts unfollowed the Chicago Bears and began following the Atlanta Falcons and players from the Atlanta Falcons. Is Fields handling these offseason rumors properly? Where do we think he's heading? And is Chicago making the right decision? We're hearing reports that they're pretty much it's settled, it's done. They're going in the direction of quarterback. What are your thoughts?
All right, so I'm gonna answer this in 3 different layers because we got the time, and me and you have actually talked about this quite often off camera on our opinions of this situation. First off, I don't think it's a big deal that he unfollowed the Bears. I really don't.
No.
He said on the St. Brown Boys podcast that he did it because
the Brown Brothers podcast. Yeah,
he said he just wanted he wants it to be over either way. He doesn't want to deal with the BS anymore. I wouldn't want to deal with the BS anymore either. Hearing for the last 2 years, I mean, he even heard it last year that he was going to be, get traded and they were going to keep Bryce, draft Bryce Young or somebody, and that didn't happen. And then Chicago happens to get the number 1 pick again, and now we're in the same position. I have said in the past to you that I do think that Fields should stay and they should trade the pick because I think they'll get a haul. But I also have said that hey, what's up, buddy? But I have also said I don't think that is going to happen. And the more and more it looks like, I don't think it's going to happen. I do think that Atlanta is the perfect spot for him, being from Georgia, close to home, going to college in Georgia, or going to high school in Georgia, originally committing and going to Georgia before transferring to Ohio State. I do think Atlanta is the perfect spot for him. However, I don't like it as a fantasy owner if I am the owner of Bijan Robinson. That's the one position I'd be a little bit afraid of because I do think, within the 5-yard line and stuff like that, it's going to be like the Buffalo Bills where Fields is going to be getting the carries and not Bijan as much. I know it's a new system. I know it's going to be, it's why can't I think of the coach's name right now? Help me out. The new coach.
The new coach for Atlanta. God damn it.
He talked about it. Yeah, he was in Tampa.
Raheem Morris.
Yeah. So I do think Atlanta is a spot.
Thank you, Chad. I got to it. It clicked right away. I was like, so it was like the only black coach like him and Pepe.
I hate saying this, and I hate saying this because a couple friends of the show are not going to like me saying this if I don't know how they feel about Fields being their quarterback. But we even thought that Fields. No, but we even thought that I know you do. We've even thought that Fields could work in the Arthur Smith offense. Now Arthur Smith is on a
there.
But he's with a team that needs a quarterback. Could they trade him to Pittsburgh?
So I don't think that it ends up being Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh is one of those old school, very old-minded franchises. So for them to kind of play the game of today's NFL from that front office thinking, that's not really their style. There's some other free agent QBs that maybe could end up there.
I think Tannehill could be there.
I could see that. And I wouldn't mind that. He could still manage the fucking offense.
Yeah.
But anyways, getting off on a tangent there.
Yep.
For Justin Fields, I feel like Vegas is the landing spot for me. If I'm the Raiders, I'm like, yeah. Let me hook you up. Let me give you some picks.
You're GM. You're the Raiders GM.
A second and a third,
no, the reason I ask is, and the other thing I was going to bring up is 3-4 months ago, we were hearing all they thought they could get.
I think that because this is the most Raiders shit ever. Tell me this wouldn't be removed. It just feels like such a fucking fair move.
But I want him to go to a place that I would want to buy him in Dynasty. Raiders is not that spot.
I don't know, bro. Justin Fields with Devontae Adams, Michael Mayer, like
with Luke Getsy.
I get it. I understand that. I fucking understand that.
And I don't think Josh Jacobs is on that team.
Josh Jacobs, what I checked, I believe was favored to go to the Chargers.
All
at a plus 750.
Give me Zamir White, baby. Give me Zamir White. I don't think he's going to be a stud, but I think he's going to be serviceable without Josh. And we will get to that later.
Look, I really think that, I really think that is something that the Raiders could do. It's either that or the Raiders go, Kirk Cousins. But I really think that
we will get to that later in the offseason.
Yeah.
We'll get to that when it's rookie talk.
Yep. I'm just thinking Fields, and it's either Vegas or Atlanta for me. In regards to how he's handling it, look, I would be pretty fucking annoyed if I knew that I was getting traded. If I knew that, or whatever the case may be, if I'm seeing this on my timeline, constant fuckingly, every time I hop on the gram, every time I hop on the X app, every time I fucking hop on any of my social media, this is all any fucking, sports personality is talking about, is how my future hangs in the balance. I'm going to fucking unfollow all of the sports pages of the team that I'm playing for as well. Mean God, too. What's good, too? My boy, my dog. Josh Jacobs is a Dallas Cowboy. Bloody fucking hell, mate.
We'll get into that.
Yeah. I surprisingly, there could be some Dallas talk tonight. I don't have Dallas talk written on the show. We'll see what happens and where the show takes us.
I think there is Dallas talk.
Yeah, I think I might actually. We'll see. We'll see. Johnson was good. The guy replacing me, where's a fucking yuck? I'm telling you, Fields. It's either Vegas or Atlanta. If it's Atlanta, what I really love about if it is Atlanta is you already have the offensive weapons there. You have Bijan, you have, Pitts, London. If anyone can get the best out of those players, I feel like it would be Justin Fields and not a Desmond Ridder, and continue with the Desmond Ridder. It seems like Atlanta wants a quarterback in this draft. Do they go the draft route and they wait maybe later, and maybe they just try and trade up for the picks? Maybe burn a couple of picks in this year's draft and next year's to move up and try and get a guy, or do you just take Justin Fields, or
I even saw something. I saw a scenario where they trade with New England and move up to 3 from 8.
I think New England would be fucking crazy to move from 3.
What do you think New England's going to do at 3?
Whatever's left over of Drake May or Jaden Daniels.
You think they're taking a QB?
I'm fully fucking confident that New England takes a QB.
I'm not
that New England takes a QB.
I'm not, now that Bill's gone.
That's exactly why I feel like they would take a QB.
I know that's why you think, yeah.
Like no Bill, it's like, okay, yeah, like now let's because you need to also find new ways to keep that fan base excited and give them something to be excited about.
You know who they should pick up to be excited about?
Jaden Daniels.
No, not a rookie.
Who?
I'm kind of being sarcastic about it, but he was a backup last year that played a lot.
Minshew?
Damn right. That would
be such a fucking crazy fit, bro.
That would spark them.
Yup, New England with the fucking Minshew mustaches in the stands. Oh my gosh.
That would spark those freaking Bostonites.
Bro, he belongs. He belongs. Like he belongs.
He belongs in that Northeast.
Yep. I love that. I love that. I don't know. He did great as a backup for Indy last year. Won them some football games. Did pretty fucking decent for fantasy managers. If Cousins goes back to Minnesota, feel like JJ McCarthy could be the perfect fit there. I would love to see JJ take over up in Minnesota. That would be crazy.
No, I think he's saying that if Minnesota stays, he thinks JJ could. Or are you saying JJ?
Cousins.
I think he's saying if Cousins stays, I think he's saying that McCarthy could go to New England.
I don't think that Cousins stays.
I know. I don't know. We'll see.
Like what are you gonna do if you're just gonna keep repeating the same shit over and over and over and over again? That'll be interesting how that happens. Atlanta getting Justin Fields, and if we trade up, it's because we're trying to grab Marvin Harrison to have that combo. Nah, if you're getting Justin Fields, you're not moving up at that point. At that point, it's either one or the other. You're either doing one or the other, and if you're moving up for a QB. Desmond Ritter's not the answer. Desmond Ritter's a backup for sure. He's a backup for a very long time in this league.
The one reason I do think that Fields could go to Atlanta too is, and I think you'll agree with me because I know a lot of our talk is fantasy, but and actually Z2 can chime in on this too because I know he knows his stuff. I've been hearing a lot that Atlanta could, at the number 8, take Dallas Turner because they need defensive line help.
Lineman, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like Atlanta is one of those teams where it's like, oh, like you throw a competent quarterback in the fold, they're gonna make just as much noise as any other team in the NFL. I don't know if you go Turner there. I see Kirk in Vegas will go crazy. I do like that. With Devontae Adams has spoke up very highly of Kirk Cousins, so I do like that fit there as well. Grady Jarrett washed. Desmond's gotta go. Yes. So yeah, that's how we're feeling. That's the temperature check on the Justin Fields situation. Time to move on to something that means absolutely everything, but also absolutely fucking nothing at the same time. At the same damn time. I'm sorry. Wow. Just really.
Oh, that. All right. I'm going to pull up my screenshots.
That sound with no context of what I'm about to read. That sounded fucking terrible.
Pause.
That's crazy. Yeah, pause, bro. The NFL informed teams today that the 2024 salary cap will be $255.4 million, a massive $30.6 million increase. The New Orleans Saints still find themselves at the bottom of that list. How this franchise is going to be effective moving forward in the future. Also, Buffalo is officially at the bottom of that list.
So Buffalo's at 41.7, and New Orleans is at 40.1. Yep. In the negative. 41.7 in the negative and 40.1 in the negative. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams in the negative.
Yeah.
So what is the question exactly?
So how fucked are the Saints like moving forward in the future?
Well, they just announced today they're restructuring freaking Carr's contract, and they're still going to be $33 million over the cap with the restructure.
Bro. They're
getting from 40 to 32 by restructuring his contract.
Bro, being that so, and here's the thing. It's nothing new with them. This has been the same fucking story with the New Orleans Saints for the past basically 5 years. And I really feel like that it's starting to come back and bite them in the ass, where like you're not going to be able to even be able to keep players that you're drafting.
Well, I want to see something while you're talking because.
Like, And it's also just, we get that the salary is just as real as fucking unicorns. Like, we get it. We completely get that. How they dig themselves out of the hole that they've been. Buffalo's going to be fine because Buffalo still has a Super Bowl window.
Yeah, but even then, they're gonna have problems soon.
They'll have but they still have a Super Bowl window for at least the next 2-3-ish years.
Okay.
You know, they're in okay position. The Saints are tragic. The Chargers, the Chargers, I feel like they'll be fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine. New GM, etc. Coach and Harbaugh, you know, will help them make the right moves. Say, you know, navigate who needs to be kept, who doesn't, who needs to be you know, dropped, so on and so forth. Dallas, their Super Bowl window is fucking closing. Their Super Bowl window is closing. They maybe have a year left. I mean, there's only a year left on McCarthy's contract.
Do you think Kamara gets cut?
I think that it would be wise. I think that it'd be wise.
If he does get cut, he's going to get – I'm looking at it right now on over the cap. If he does get cut, it'll be after June 1st. It'll be a $7 million dead cap instead of $11 million dead or something like that. And the savings is 11 off of the cap, off of that. The biggest contracts that they have are – the biggest cap numbers they have are Ryan Ramczyk, Cameron Jordan, Alvin Kamara, Demario Davis, Taysom Hill, Marshawn Lattimore, Andrews Pete, and then Derek Carr.
Like, you have to
I think they need to cut MT, but MT's an $11 million cap hit or dead cap.
But you have to start clearing up the mess that Peyton left. You got to start clearing up the mess that Peyton left, all because you were trying to run out there and chase championships with Drew Brees. You need to start getting yourself out of that era. This is where organizations with really good, you know, with really good scouts that help build depth and help build through, you know, the draft, build through free agency, and build through the practice squad. That's why those GMs, you know, say what you want, fucking Howie Roseman. You know, I get that. You know, Philly. Where's Philly at here on this list? You know, Philly. They're 17th. They're 17th on the list here, at 32.2 million. But you know what? There's a GM that's going out there and fucking, you know, turning shit around. That constantly turn shit around. You know,
yeah, I mean, right in the middle. I mean, teams in the middle. I mean, if you look at it, teams in the middle. I mean, you got Philly, you got KC, you got Jaguars. The reason I'm bringing the Jaguars, you got Baltimore at 20. The reason I'm bringing the middle up is a lot of the guys that are still in the hunt for the top of the league. They're not all. What I'm saying is they're not all in the bottom and they're not all in the top. Buffalo's an anomaly. And you get what I mean?
Yeah. Yo, I mean, Washington being at the top with you know, that 87, that's dangerous. That's dangerous. You know, I was listening to Doug Williams talk today on NFL Report. Also with, you know, the top 5 picks that we got, you know, 5 picks in the you know, the first 3, like, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna do some damage. I'm excited to see how that team turns around. There's some free agency grabs out there. Some guys are going to be looking to go and get a bag. And
without giving too much away, there is a team. I'm not going to say which team. There is a team in the top 10 that I will be bringing up at the end of the show.
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. You know, but I mean, you look at, you know, those teams that are kind of down there at the bottom. You know, really got to figure it out. Cleveland, that Deshaun Watson contract has got to fucking go.
I don't think it does.
I don't think they hang on to Watson.
I think they do.
You got to get out of that. Bro has to testify again.
This scares me.
Got to get out of that.
This I would love. I mean, this not scares. This I'm surprised on this one. I agree, but it's just after looking at it, seeing something else is like crazy to think that they could cut Marlon Humphrey.
I think that was just first year jitters for Forbes. Honestly, when you go back and you look, like he actually wasn't that bad. Like he wasn't that bad, you know. But he definitely needs to come along for damn sure. He'll put on some size during the offseason. That'll really help him out for damn sure. They save almost $11 million with cutting him.
Yeah.
With like Marlon Humphrey.
Yeah.
Shit. Like I said, I see the Saints getting closer back to being the Aints. Bills, I think, will be okay for a hot minute. Miami is already starting to, figure out ways to clear up.
They're saying Howard's gone too.
Yep. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Denver's going to be getting out of the Russell Wilson contract, so Russ has already put his house on the market.
Yep.
Russ has already put his house on the market.
Are you putting a bid on it?
Yeah, I wish. And then let's see here. Dallas.
It's Dallas.
Jerry's gonna blow money and spend money. Look, Dallas the Super Bowl window is getting real fucking scary. Like, because it's like if you're and I'm saying this for those that are Dallas fans that watch the show. If you can't make anything happen this next year underneath McCarthy's last contract, I don't know how much longer you can hang on with that coming up short.
Well, did you see, was it Jordan Schultz or who was it that said that he's hearing that somebody said that they're hearing that Dak could reset the market on his next contract at $60 a year?
That's crazy if you keep rocking with this, man.
That's
like,
what I'm.
In all honesty, it's. I've always said the history repeats itself on the show. It's Tony Romo all over again, except without fumbling snaps.
Snap.
Yeah, exactly. It's just you're just getting a different quarterback that you're hoping that can becomes this success story for you. You're not getting fucking Troy Aikman again. Like, you're just not getting Troy again. Like, straight up. You're not getting Michael Irvin again. They keep trying to repeat the same things that they've already. You're bringing back Jimmy Johnson for what? As an advisor? Are you actually going to listen this time, Jerry?
No.
So, like, Aikman was mid that was able to still go out there and win football games.
And he also played in a different era, too.
Exactly. Dak Prescott can win you football games, but when we get to December and January, this motherfucker's nowhere to be found.
Z2, Troy was playing before you were conceived.
I don't think the NFL will put sponsors on jerseys. Just
I do eventually, but not soon.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, Jerry didn't listen when the Civil Rights Act passed. Holy shit. Dilly, what's good? CB, what's good? DMV, stand up. Look, and then finally, the final thing that I want to say about the teams in the black here. Okay, like I said, Cleveland, get out of their contract. But now y'all got me on the fucking Dallas soapbox.
Well, get off of it and go to another team.
Fine. You know what? No, I'm gonna leave it alone. Fuck Dallas.
I know. Go to what you wanted to say
about Dallas.
No, I thought you were going to go a different team.
Yeah, I am about to go to a different team. Yeah. Speaking of cap space, okay. Miami Dolphins, they're starting to make their cuts. They've already made some clear changes on the defensive side of the ball. How they're going to patch up these two changes is really, really going to be interesting. Emmanuel Agba, middle linebacker, and cornerback Xavier Howard, both released today, back-to-back releases. Is Miami taking a step back? It seems like, that they were, there was this playoff, Super Bowl window that was kind of there after this past season. Yeah, you did get back-to-back 9+ sack seasons out of Agba in 20 and 21. Or no, I believe it was 21 and 22. I want to say, yeah, 21 and 22. And then last year he had 6.5. Then, you talk about Xavier Howard. Xavier Howard's just always been the dude may not always get you the picks, but he can definitely deflect the ball. He can lock down your best receiver. He can practically cover a whole side of his field together. What are your thoughts? Xavier tougher blow. They have Van Geikel better than Agba.
All right, here we go. I'm just gonna say it.
We down some of those sour monkey night tonight. Found out 3 in these are not. Oh, found 3 and they're 9%ers. Oh, you're gonna be fucked up.
All right, so here's why they have to cut Agba and they're gonna cut Xavier Howard. Over the Cap already has Agba Over the Cap already has them both gone on their list of players.
Yeah.
But here we go, and no, Robbie knows I'm not bringing this up because of my bias. This has nothing to do with that. This is what happens when you have a wide receiver with $31.3 million on your cap hit. Next, as number 1 on the team. Number 2 on the team, in my opinion, is overrated. $27.2 million to Jalen Ramsey. And then, who's one of the 2 defensive ends that got hurt last year? Bradley Chubb is a $26.8 million cap hit. Between Ramsey, Hill, and Chubb, you're looking at over $100 million.
But
and Xavier's number 4 on the team. Number 5 on the team is a guy who last year was healthy, but before that was considered a concussion problem. $23 million to Tua, and then $20 million to Teron Armstead. After that, and then it goes $20 million is Armstead, right? The next highest paid cap hit is $14 million. So you go from 20 to 14. That's a $6 million gap.
Yeah, that's a drop off from hell.
From the 6th person to the 7th person, and then the 11th person is Jalen Waddle. So at $8 million. So that just shows you.
And you're gonna have to figure out things with Waddle here,
next year.
Very, very soon.
I think
I don't even know if you keep Waddle. Waddle kind of was.
I think they do because I have a feeling. I mean, if Hill is a man of his word, and is gone in 2 years, you're going to have to keep Waddle.
Yeah. Well, I mean, was that 2 years from this year, the end of this season, or was that when he said that? This is like 1 year already done. Like this is like the last we maybe get a Tyreek Hill. I mean, I don't know.
Put Z's last comment up, the Wilkins one, because Wilkins is a free agent. That is a big one too.
Of that, if he goes back to Miami,
exactly. So they're going to have to pay Wilkins on top of it. So you're cutting Agba and you're cutting Xavier, but do you want to keep Wilkins? I think they do want to keep Wilkins, and I think they need to keep Wilkins. I think Wilkins is a. I'm not saying that he's Warren Sapp or anything like that, but Wilkins is a bigger piece as a defensive tackle on that line than Agba. Like you
Miami's
need to keep
never
Wilkins
hanging
over
70 on a team again, and we saw that once they had to play good teams, they weren't doing that dumb shit. Look, to me, this is a move that could potentially set them back should they if they don't address filling these two spaces in free agency, which you're not going to be able to fill both through free agency.
No.
Which means that you're filling one of the two through the draft, and now you're worrying about that player being able to step up to NFL speed. I think that this is a step back. It makes me question if they're still going to be the same team that they were this past season. You know, they were great. They were amazing. We were singing, you know, Mike McDaniel's praises, you know, but a lot of what McDaniels does is because of his offensive mind. Are things going to still be the same for you defensively? I don't think so.
Do they finish?
I can see Miami possibly. If Miami doesn't fix this during the offseason, I get that it's only 2 moves, but these are 2 major fucking moves.
Do the Jets finish above them with a healthy Aaron Rodgers and changes?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't. I think that they can balance. They can stay even killed.
Get a wild card.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like no matter what, no matter who the Jets have back there at quarterback, the Jets are always going to jet. We've learned that. We've learned that. That's going to be their narrative. Carolina's not letting Brian Burns go. They're not letting that happen. They're not going to let that happen.
If he does, come to KC, baby. That ain't happening, but
yeah, Carolina's got a fucking stranglehold over Brian Burns. Like they'll probably tag him. So yeah, Miami setbacks, salary cap hell, builds to Atlanta.
No, leaves.
Hey, whoa.
He did not like. Come on, no.
Nope.
Nope.
It was already revealed that she lied. No,
he wasn't even there.
Exactly, he wasn't even there. Like, stop.
We're gonna lose Thompson though.
Yeah, but still, like, I love how the Chiefs really quick. Like, I love how the Chiefs just find ways and new ways to reinvent themselves. Like, it was like, oh, well, they lost Tyreek Hill. Will they still be the same? It's like, oh, well, like, we'll just lean on our, tight end a little bit more, and start leaning on our running game a little bit more. Then it was like, it's just always something. It's just always something. And then it was like, oh, well, like, now teams are figuring out how to, kind of slow down the offense. Well, it's like, okay, well, now we're going to beat you with our defense. Like, just gotta. I know that we're 2 weeks removed from the Super Bowl, but gotta give you guys props, man. Like,
well, the other thing I want to bring up with the whole, the comment about the R word. However, what I want to bring up about the player is, does he deserve another chance? Yes. Here's the thing I will say about Mr. Not Chiefs in general. I am calling out one person in the Chiefs on this one. And you know where I'm going with this. Mr. Big Red himself. He's giving this guy another chance. He gave Marcus Peters another chance. Technically gave Tyreek Hill another chance. Michael Vick another chance in Philly. This is not, and the thing with him is, whenever you see like someone get in trouble or whatever, everyone's like, oh, he's going to be a Raider. And I am guilty of saying that shit.
However, y'all became the new fucking Raiders.
No, but here's the thing. He is super calculated about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't just go, oh, I'm going to take X person just because they got in trouble, blah, blah, blah. He's calculated when he does it.
He's making sure, okay, everything is clear, like it's all good. Like, America to land the second chances. Yeah, for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, Casey doesn't need to re-sign Donovan Smith's bum ass. KC needs to worry about the Chris Jones contract.
We're 2 weeks off. We're 2 weeks out of winning a Super Bowl. Give me some more time.
Y'all, they need to figure out that Ladarius Sneed contract.
You already know what I already told you. I already told you about Ladarius Sneed. I already told you. He's gone. He's gone. We can only afford to keep him or Chris Jones. And I would rather keep the freaking defensive tackle. Sorry.
Yep. You got a Julius Peppers on your hand, a guy that can play at that position for a very long time, that can keep his hand in the dirt for a very long time.
Hey, sign me a cheap Patrick Peterson for a year, and then let's figure it out on the back end.
He even kept playing Kadarius Toney. Yeah, I bet.
Oh God, Z2. I was gonna put the cutoffs on. Yeah, you don't deserve those anymore.
Look, for real. Hey, throw me Cole a game-winning touchdown Super Bowl bonus while the fuck y'all at it.
Am I gonna have to eat crow on this for the rest of the season until 25?
Bro, I'm just saying, like,
yeah. I know.
Look, y'all are the ones. Here's the thing. Y'all are the ones with the target on your backs.
Yes, but I'm saying personally, I have to eat crow on Hardman until like for a year.
Bro, you know what's crazy? It's like I was like, man, I should throw like, you know, a little something on the homie, you know, and I fucking did it, bro.
I want enough.
It's a Super Bowl just for you just gotta you know, do it for shits and giggles, bro. It's just like fuck it, anything can happen. Like I
still honestly think that if Isaiah Pacheco didn't screw up and fumble that ball, that Hardman could have won MVP.
Yeah, you gotta admit the back-to-back fumbles by each running back from each side, as dominant as both of those running backs are.
Yeah,
back-to-back looked a little like it's a little scripted.
Oh yeah. No, but what I'm saying is I think Hardman could have won the MVP if that didn't happen, because he was the one that caught the pass that 50-yarder the play before.
Yeah.
Or 2 plays before.
Yeah. It's big facts.
That's why I think that play would have had such a bigger impact. Then you add this winning overtime touchdown on top of it. Like, that would have been, you know, perfect.
Been the blowout. That would have been the blowout. I got a quick topic that I'm gonna just pull off the cuff real quick before you get into the second half. Not on the show sheet or nothing.
That's fine.
Last year we saw 2 quarterbacks really, really ball out, and I think that their Super Bowl windows are really just at, you know, really just beginning, just beginning. Of course, one in the AFC, one in the NFC. A set of narratives that I think that are just going to be paralleled together for the rest of their careers, and that is Jordan Love and CJ Stroud. Both quarterbacks. Yeah, both quarterbacks balled the fuck out, got their teams in playoffs, looked good during the playoffs, have the pieces around them. Neither team is really in cap hell or has to really worry about anything. It feels like a lot of the pieces that are there are pretty much all going to be retained. And when you kind of reduce turnover in the NFL, or kind of reduce attrition, it helps you. It helps you win more football games. The more you can keep a team together and a certain group of guys together, keep pieces together, better the outcome. What are your thoughts on these 2 teams, their windows of opportunities moving forward in the future?
Do not put Z2's comment up.
We're going to talk about that later.
We're talking about that later. Okay, yeah. So CJ Stroud, Jordan Love. I do think it's kind of crazy that the person that we thought going into this year was Green Bay's number 1 wide receiver and number 1 target for him, in my opinion, might not even be the number 2 target on his team in 2024. I do think that the running back situation is a little sketchy in Green Bay, purely the fact that,
Corum.
No.
I solve all Green Bay's problems right there.
But I think I really do think I think Corum's going. Well, I don't want to say yet because that'll determine on another question in the show, and I'll get to Corum later in the show. But Aaron Jones is getting older. I think it is evident that Quadzilla is not, it as a number one running back. But I do trust Green Bay as a franchise without Mike McCarthy. Thank you, Z2. And I trust LaFleur, now that you're out of the Aaron Rodgers shadow and Love proved what he could do this year, I do think they're in a trajectory up. And I think they're enough ahead of the trajectory. Minnesota's on the trajectory down because they're going to have a little bit of a rebuild no matter what they do.
Yeah, Minnesota's rebuilding for sure.
Chicago is going to be on a trajectory up. However, Green Bay's ahead of that trajectory. So I think that
Chicago's going to be on a trajectory up.
They can't go anywhere but up.
Okay. You bring up they could easily be the Detroit Pistons next year of the NFL.
They can't go anywhere but up from their okay. So I do think they can elevate to a wild card. Where like Green Bay can, like, they're in the wild card now, but what I'm saying is they can stay there and maybe fight for the division, but I don't think that like
Detroit has that motherfucker on lock, like, for sure. Like
Houston, on the other hand, is the front runner for that goddamn division because of because of two things in my opinion.
Elite light skins.
Because of two things in my opinion.
What up, Matt?
CJ Stroud and the coach, DeMeco Ryans. DeMeco Ryans has turned that team around, getting CJ Stroud
and Will Anderson. Both of those picks hitting. Both of those picks hitting.
Both of the picks hitting, but on the offense, no one. I mean, I would have picked him over freaking Bryce Young, and I said that on this air.
We both.
We both did. However, it didn't happen. They got lucky. They had the one thing that we've even given shit to Bryce Young about. One of the things that Bryce doesn't have for him that Houston does is CJ Stroud did have Larry Tunsil on one of the corners. And that does help the fact that you do have somewhat of an offensive line. Could they shore up part of it? Yes.
Yeah.
But they do have the corner, they do have the building bricks, the Legos that, to secure it up. So I think they never had healthy Tank Nico. Yeah, they don't. But honest truth, without Tank and Nico getting hurt, in my opinion, Noah Brown would have been dog doo-doo all freaking year.
Oh, yeah.
You have healthy.
But at least you still had a three. At least you still had a three.
But I'm saying I don't think we'd be talking about Noah Brown if it wasn't for those two getting hurt.
Jonathan Brooks with Aaron Jones and Green Bay.
I actually agree. That I agree with more than the quorum. But I do think Houston's on the trajectory up, and they just need to get
Brian Robinson in Washington.
But the one thing that will be good for Houston now, because of the Deshaun Watson situation and because of the crappy ownership that they had for a little bit. Like, I know their owner's still there, but I'm just saying, like, the perspective of the ownership. Now that you bring DeMeco Ryans in as a leader of the team and all this, I think they're going to be back to getting free agents and bringing in the veterans the veterans that will be like, hey, I can go and help them get over that hump. I think that's what they're going to get because as our buddy
in the NFL, but in the NFL, that's a spot that you want to be in. That's a spot.
No, that's what I'm saying. And one of the problems that Green Bay has always had is, do you want to play in Green Bay or do you want to play in Houston when it comes to weather and hanging out? You tell me, Z2. I mean, you know what? So that's what I have to say.
Swift a Charger. Think about it. Robbie, congrats on Drake. My gosh.
So what do you think?
So there's first, I agree in a lot of ways with your take. First starting with Houston. Houston is in a perfect position for longevity, to where when we talk about Super Bowl windows, you always want to kind of like measure those on kind of like a 5-year kind of scale. It's like, okay, where's the trajectory of where can you go within the next 5? Because that's really realistically about the length. 3 to 5 years is 5 is your max. 3 is that sweet is a nice sweet spot to be. When you start getting in below where it's like, hey, we need to win now. That becomes stressful. And that's where the shortcomings and things come up. All they have to do really is just keep him healthy, keep Stroud healthy, keep him upright. Get a fucking running back. Get a relevant running back. For real. The day that Houston can wear teams down between the tackles, you already have the offensive line. You have damn good offensive line. Now you just need someone that can have the speed and have the burst to get to the second level. I'll be talking about that a little bit later. Look, for real, they just got to make a little move here, a little move there. For them, it's just tweaks.
Yep.
It's just little minor tweaks. And that's a dangerous place to be in, a dangerous position to be in the NFL. Where it's like, okay, I don't have to stress as much. I can maintain, the roster that I have. I don't have to worry about as much turnover for a good while. It makes them very fucking dangerous. Houston to be nice. Crawfish season there is why I'm getting fat. Jonathan Greenard, most underrated in the game. Sheldon Rankins is a big piece. They need to bring back off a good year. Prove a deal last year. Who are you saying?
He's saying Houston. Houston Rankins was at Houston last year on the.
No, I'm not talking about Z2. I'm talking about Matt, where he was like he's kind of washed. Not gonna lie. I don't think that Rankins is washed, and if you're talking about Saquads,
we'll get there later.
Yeah, we'll get there a little.
We'll talk about Saquads later.
As for the quarterback over in the NFC, Jordan Love, bro came out and showed improved.
Absolutely.
Leaf said it earlier in the chat. Green Bay 3-0 with franchise QBs. Just amazing. I mean, just the way that those receivers, Wicks and Reed, they're getting together during the offseason. It's looking like getting some workouts in. Christian Wood find a fucking way to stay healthy. Or I think that Wood will probably be the one getting replaced, and they'll
Christian Wood. By the way, Christian Wood plays for the Los Angeles Lakers. You're thinking
Christian? I always fucking do that. Christian Watson, yeah. Watson find a way to stay healthy. Look, it's been a long day. Watson find a way to stay healthy. That way, you kind of really be a deeper part of that team. But I don't even feel like that. I said it during the season that they didn't need Watson in order to win football games. They were probably better off without him in the fold. So that it did open up for Wicks and Reed to go out there and be more dangerous. I think that they find a way to maybe move on from Watson. And then you bring in a guy that could be a 3. You elevate Reed and Wicks to, the 1 and 2. They'll figure it out. They're a team that never needs anything flashy in order to go out there and win football games. They just need a quarterback to go out and win football games. That's always been their narrative, from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, etc. They just got to keep playing Packers football, and they're going to continue to win games. They don't need any flashy moves. I don't see them going out and being like, oh my gosh, like Mike Evans is a free agent. Come up here and play. Like, that's not Green Bay. So yeah, Houston could be sneaky to land one of the top free agent wide receivers. Houston definitely is a sneaky place. Houston's for sure sneaky. To land top free agents at any position, because it's like, oh shit, like there's a team that's down there putting it together and they're ready to ball. Houston becomes a very, very attractive destination, aside from the fact that it's Texas.
Yeah,
it's conservative.
But I do think that they could end up with a very good number. I think they could end up with a very good AFC North.
I like that take. Xavier and Green Bay with a veteran DB on that defense. I like that.
I like that.
Yeah. Musgrave. I think they just need to figure out the balance between those two, just like they need to figure out the balance between Weed and Wicks. And that's why I also say like they don't need Watson in the fold right now, just because it's like we tried, didn't work out. There might be a little bit of injury bug. Let's get out of this investment.
Oh, Jimmy Butler's getting into a fight with Zion? Wait, no.
Oh, word, like an actual fist fight?
Oh, wait, it wasn't Zion. Someone literally put his hand around Jimmy's neck.
Oh shit.
Okay. I just saw the end clip, so I don't really even know what happened. Okay.
All righty. We are going to go ahead and get into a quick halftime. We will be right back on the other side of the show. We got some free agency talk. We got free agency talk. And a whole lot of other stuff. Maybe a little bit of comedy as well. So yeah, y'all stick around. We'll be right back. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly, y'all.
Hop out in Miami when I'm land, I got no understanding. Out of here, I'm burning, no turn me up, you can't understand. In the club, posted up, they lit up, no matter where I'm standing. Shots to your deep, but the Cuban link, yeah, you see it there. Might spaz out on some taller shit, don't want zero tolerance. Money conversations ain't hard to relate, it's hollering. See my net, they acknowledge it, good bring her where you're not. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. See, life's kinda funny. You stick to the road to the riches and hope you don't crash like some dummy. To get to this money, you cut every piece of the pie to find out you sliced into an onion. Now let's change the subject. These niggas who think they got something, but actually they end up with nothing. It's getting disgusting. I'm tired of the fucking assumptions. I'm about to blow up like a ruckus, so stick to the plan. When you lose it, gotta get it again. Keep it moving, never stick in the sand. Even with tired, like Michelin Man, shit, I know I'm the man, so I don't give a damn about opinions. I'm racking up millions, you stacking up pennies. She throwing it back in the back of the venue. Now we taking off in her man and his feelings. Now back to the business, back to the lab with my niggas. Actually back doing laps in the trenches. It's my second home, I ain't have to go visit. I stay resident, embedded to live in the life of a nigga. By day we just niggas, at night we the victim. The life of go get 'em, so I'ma go get it. I stick to my plan and I stay on my mission. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. So this is my message. Sometimes you just living in life, be an actor. Don't try to direct it. Now let's change directions. It's like that we live full of lessons. Don't count chickens, start counting blessings before they go missing. I promise you, I'm on a mission. I want something, I'ma go get it. No hidden intentions. I open my eyes, saw my vision. Now everyone see that I'm gifted. I'm rapping like Christmas. You niggas just under a tree. I'm smoking it, not metaphorically. I'm smoking no tree. No one's smoking on me. So when I say you're under it, no, that means me. I'm a poet MC and I'm living my dream. Hoping that hopefully you see the hope in me. And if you don't, fuck it, cause I'm all I need. Keep my ear to the game and my mind to the streets. I'm a beast. Stick to the plan. Stick to the number one mission at hand. Stay true to yourself and give your life meaning. And fuck their opinions, they won't understand. To get to the top, gotta give all you got. Only getting one shot, so give up or not until your heart stops. Gotta stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the plot. Hey, stick to the script. Sometimes you get what you get, so don't try to go and chase shit. Just stick to the script.
We are back. We are back. What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls. What it do? Dilly dilly.
Dilly, y'all.
You give me another one of these in New Orleans. I'm going to take me a trip to New Orleans in February next year.
Oh. I'm going somewhere else. Not there.
What's the weather like in New Orleans around February?
Oh, no.
Z2, your country, I should know.
Z2 lives in freaking Texas, not Louisiana.
This the South, bro. Like
no.
Are you taking road trips, bro? You never taking a road trip?
It takes me 7 hours to get out of my state,
bro. But you still never taken a road trip?
For where?
Like you never just driven to like another state and just been like,
Like I told you, it takes me 6 hours to get to Vegas.
Okay, but have you gone to Vegas?
Yes, but what I'm saying
is, all right,
it's different.
No, bro. Road tripping is road tripping, bro.
No, but all I'm saying is, like, if you live in Kentucky, my brother can get to Cincinnati in an hour and a half. You can't do that in California.
It's different. It's different in that aspect. Like, it's different in that aspect. Yeah. Like, I feel that. But yeah, like with Texas is a big ass state, but I mean, like, it depends on like where in Texas. Like, if he's like on like you know, that side, like where like Louisiana's like just right there, and then like
he's down by Houston.
So like, yeah. They be going to New Orleans. Let's jump back into the show. Look, I'm going to address this because I feel like this probably should have been like something maybe I, instead of posting on Twitter about from a comedic standpoint, I should have maybe done it live from a comedic standpoint. I always say, hold on. No. I always say there's no greater offseason in sports than that of the National Football League. News broke this past week that veteran running back Adrian Peterson was selling all of his memorabilia from jerseys, trophies, and so on. Then a report came out later on from the man himself stating that that he is 100% financially stable and he'll be taking legal action against the auction house. Many social media personalities are split and don't know exactly how to feel. Is AP doing well, or is he closer to starting a podcast than we all realize?
Well, I think you need to rephrase it because there's plenty of guys that are doing well and starting podcasts.
Exactly. But exactly, one of them soon to be one of my coworkers, a wide receiver that I know very, very well that I've worked with previously. Look, Agent 89. Look, where the joke kind of came about was the way that it was kind of filmed.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, yo, like, are you reading like a fucking ransom note right now? Like, you know,
it looked like he was reading a teleprompter.
Exactly. You know, look, need that Adrian Peterson bathwater. See, at the end of the day, all right, people, the internet's gonna internet. All right. Let's also remember that I do stand up in my part-time. You know, so sometimes, like, hey, may have like a joke or two. All right. Look, time to do OnlyFans. Hey, fucking what's his name? What's the dude that what's that rapper's name? Fucking Sauce Walker started doing her OnlyFans. Like, look, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta fucking make your money, right? Look, AP got fucking 13 kids. Like 11 kids, some shit like that.
Yep.
Like, he got like Phil Rivers amounts of kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And the problem with that is they're not the same.
Yeah, they all different baby mamas. They all different baby mamas. Look, all right. First, we obviously care about Adrian Peterson's mental health. All right. It's not about any of that. All right. And I don't think that there's any reason for us to question that. But I don't think that he's given us any reason. This is one of those things that it's just that the internet is going to take and it's going to mean, you know, AP is fine. He says that he is fine. Everything is okay. I understand that everything is not a joke. We have seen players go broke before. I'm fully fucking confident that Adrian Peterson is not fucking dead broke, ladies and gentlemen. There are other ways that you can get autographed Adrian Peterson memorabilia. He signed enough shit throughout his career. I know someone that has an AP Sooners jersey. Like, you know, at least he's not.
Don't put that up.
Oh. I shouldn't have won. Oh my gosh. Look, AP is going to be fine. AP, I'll do a podcast with you. I'm so fucking serious. I ain't even playing. I'll do one with you. When I saw someone post that, I was like, oh, so is he about to start doing podcasts? I was like, yo, I'll be your co-host. I'll be your co-host. Let's go. We can have that joint popping like Club Shay Shay. You know, so that's my take on it. It is what it is. I get some people, the internet was very much divided on it, but yeah, your take.
I'll be honest, I don't really have one. Because what you said, I really don't give a flying. And on top of it, I think this is being blown so much out of proportion. This is social media and Twitter and whatever else being social media and Twitter, where in 13 days, we won't give a crap about this.
We have 7 days, I believe, to the combine, actually.
Okay, then in 7 days, we won't care about this.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
This is dead zone period. We needed something to talk about.
Exactly. And I think that this was more so that one of those things that, like, because it's Adrian Peterson, one of the greatest running backs of all time, because of, you know, like there was just so many different angles to where, like, the internet could take, whether it's like they wanted to, like, meme about it or like
the video added to it. Like,
yeah, the video added so much fucking to it. Like, we are in an era right now in this social media world where back in the day, you know, you got media training. You know, you got media training, and it was like, hey, you know, you say this, you say that, you can't say this, you can't say that. You can talk about this, you can't talk about that. It was very different. It was a very different time, right?
Yeah.
Now, like, back then, when you said something, you did something wrong, it got done as a press release. Your publicist would, you know, get wind of it first. You know, your publicist would get wind of it first. They would type you up a press release. They would type up a statement. Fine, whatever. Even in the early days of social media, the press statement would just get released as like a screenshot on like Instagram or like, you know, their Twitter or whatever. We got motherfuckers doing press conferences off the smartphone in their mansions.
Yep.
Which just now opens it up for more dumb shit to be said.
Well, yeah.
And for things to look even worse. You know, and I think that's where it kind of, it was like, no, like, I'm financially stable, It's like, if he was like, kind of, I don't know, I guess if his body language was more chill about it and he didn't take it like super serious or whatever, you add in the fact that you're saying that you're going to, you know, sue the auction house, you know, fuck. It makes the situation look bad.
Yeah.
Gen Z and Gen Alpha internet destroyed the internet. I'm one of that problem. I mean, first off, there's accountability with that, and I can respect any man that's willing to be accountable over their actions. First off, second off, that's just also just awareness, self-awareness. You know, awareness of the environment that's around you. I won't say that it's destroyed the internet. We're in a different internet. You know,
right.
Kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier. You know, at the beginning of the show with the Justin Fields thing, the fact that we're even having to ask, like, if it's a big deal that he unfollowed the team, it's like, bro. We live in a time period where it's like mental health for athletes, but then we're also like, how dare they do that? And we scrutinize every fucking thing. No one else is going to show up at your job and scrutinize everything that you do, but we do it in our career field.
Yeah. Before we go any further, I have breaking NFL news as of 13 minutes ago. Cincinnati Bengals have informed T. Higgins he will be franchise tagged.
T. Higgins getting the tag right out the gate. right out the gate. They're like, we're not even gonna drag this on. I personally like that. I like that.
But does he drag it along and not? Does he drag it along and not sign it and force their hand like on draft day?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Just because of
does he sign short term? Does he sign the 1 year? Or does he sign the long term?
I think he does the one. I think he does the one, and he says, "Let's go out there. Let's try and win another one, or let's try and get to another one.
Get to it."
Yeah. Their Super Bowl window is far from fucking closed. As long as Joe Burrow is still alive and fucking breathing in the NFL, that is a threat to the AFC. That is a threat to the AFC.
I'm not disagreeing.
You know,
I feel that way.
There are, and especially on an episode like tonight where we're talking about cap, where we're talking about 21 mil, baby, when we're talking about cap, when we're talking about, strategic moves, it's these moves that help you get to February. It's these moves that help you get to that Lombardi. You want to win football in February? You do the right things during the offseason. You make the very strategic decisions during the offseason. And that's from the highest paid player on the team all the way down to the practice squad. Them securing T. Higgins at least for one more year, I'm all for it. Now, don't get me wrong, there's some great receiver talent in this class. I don't think that as much popped out as we hoped. But there's some fucking.
That's the best comment Leafs has ever made. That is the best comment Leafs has ever made.
We're probably getting ready to restart Joe Burrow dick riding supremacy again. Look, the man's a cyborg, okay? I want to win football in February, says Matt. We all want to win football in February. The only person that's been doing it as a recent memory is this motherfucker.
I want to win in February again.
It's just like fucking Disneyland constantly. Hey, winning's a good feeling. But no, I mean to reaction to T. Higgins getting tagged again. This is the smart move for Cincinnati. This is a smart move for Cincinnati.
I don't think they had a choice.
Yeah, they didn't have a choice. If I'm T. Higgins, I'm realistically like, this is the contender I could stay on. Let me just take the short term, do another major killer season, have a killer season, and then get the bigger bag later on.
He's still young.
Exactly, he's still young to where he can force his hand. He doesn't have to. No, I feel like that the best leverage that like if he were to be like, okay, well, I want to go to a different team. I want to explore the market, or if you wanted to drag it out, bro, you're going to have to go to a team that's probably that has the bag to give you, which I don't know if that's going to work out best for your career. Your career deserves to have a Super Bowl ring attached to it.
Well, like here, let's just throw one out there just for shits and giggles because we talked about the numbers. One of the teams that was talked about getting them last season is in that top 5, and that's the Chicago Bears. And they're number 2. So would you rather would you rather go get a bigger bag and be on the Bears with Caleb? Let's just assume Caleb. Or would you rather take a few $1 million less, play one more year with Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals?
Bengals are already set and ready to go.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm. Yeah.
Bengals are already set and ready to go, and I you want to get that in the NFL. You want to get your ring sooner rather than later. You want it quicker rather than later on, because then later on, especially if you're trying to get into Hall of Fame, et cetera, it's like, okay, now I got the ring. Now I can chase the accolades. Now I can chase bags. Now I can because I got the ring. That's how wide receivers. I feel like they should be thinking. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter when you get your ring, but if you can knock out that thing, that's a big fucking thing that gets you into Canton. If you can knock out that thing, hey, and then you have accolades now to just go with and address that big prize up. Oh yeah. But T. Higgins he's got to do what's best for him and his family at the same time. And I'm also going to advocate for that no matter what he does. I'm all for players getting their bag.
There was also all those rumors about him possibly going to Carolina because he went to Clemson and he's from that part of the country. I know. I'm just saying, I wouldn't do that. I'm just saying, like you said, you're saying get the bag, do what's best for the fam. You know.
Nah, yeah. If I'm T,
I'm not going there.
Yeah, I'm sticking with the contender. I don't think that if you're a player of that caliber, you can go from contender to pretender, or not even pretender, because Carolina would be pretender. But I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that. I just don't. You don't go from winning fucking games at LSU, going to the Cincinnati Bengals, having an impact there, and then going to the fucking Panthers. Like, players like that don't do that. Players like that don't do that.
No, because that's Jamar Chase.
I don't think Chase would even do that. Chase has that dog in him.
T. Higgins went to Clemson.
Or a fucking, my bad.
That's why I brought it up. You're good.
Yep. Bro, long day. Yes. T. Higgins did, in fact, go to Clemson. My bad.
I got you.
DJ Moore by Glorious King. Don't touch him. I like DJ Moore, honestly, in the scenario that they end up with Marvin Harrison, that they end up with Marvin Harrison Jr. I
like DJ Moore, and I like DJ Moore with them getting either one of the top three, because all three of those guys are like the outside big guy, like Diazunde and Neighbors, like either one. I don't think they're getting Marvin, but even if they don't get Marvin, I think the way that DJ Moore is, he would fit with all three.
I want Marvin in Chicago just because
I know
if in some weird fucking world that they did, let's say even if they traded back, got Williams, or we're still able to get Williams, traded back, we're able to snag Marvin like a little bit later.
Marvin's going top five. Marvin's going top five.
Yeah, Marvin's going top fucking five, bro. Like, it is what it is. Like, what I'd originally want is if they did keep Fields and then fucking get Marvin.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Marvin to AZ. I don't know. Marvin in New York could be a fucking thing.
Hey, as long as I actually think Lisa's right on this one. However, I am not going to say it out loud, and I don't want you to say it out loud either, and I don't want the chat to put it in because I don't want them to manifest this shit. But there's one place that if he goes doing the top five, I am going to piss my pants, and I'm leaving it at that.
Look, all I'm going to say is be on the lookout for Discord and Twitch, where I'll actually be able to like do breakdowns, where I'll actually be able to like show like the film and shit. Because we're actually going to be getting into my breakdowns this upcoming week. Oh my gosh. Brad, what is good? The city of Detroit could possibly have the NFL draft, a Red Wings playoff game, and a Tigers home game all on April 25th. That city would fucking...
That would be a first.
That would be a first for any city, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Two, that'd be crazy. Like, the atmosphere in Detroit come April would be fucking insane. If I didn't have to be in Minnesota for Avenged Nerd's wedding in April or in May, like I'd be there April for sure. I could probably, with my new job, I probably would make both happen. We'll see. God willing. God did. Yes, I just pulled a Ray. God did. What a talk. Huh?
Back to the show sheet.
Yep. Want to talk about next landing spot for a couple of different players. I pulled 3 names off of the free agency board. I'm going to be doing this segment. This will be a staple in the show sheet kind of moving forward.
For the next month.
God did. Yeah, exactly. For the next month. So the 3 names that we're pulling off the board tonight, we are going all skill possessions. This is because we do fantasy football, motherfuckers. Next landing spot 4, starting at the quarterback position.
Okay,
we're gonna work our way from most important.
Yep. Yeah. I got it. Just do one at a time.
Yep. Russell, motherfucking Wilson. The chef has not been cooking lately. Where do we think that let him cook, dangerous, more so dangerous for your offense if you have him, is going to end up? I've seen some crazy fucking takes with this. I'm letting you know I've seen some wild shit.
No.
And here's the thing, I like so many of them. It's where like I can't be like turn like any of my colleagues and be like, you're a dumbass for like saying this team. You're a dumbass for saying that team. You know, because all right. Do you just view him as a bridge first? Like I guess this is the way we should unpack this.
No.
Russ, come to Vegas,
no.
baby.
No to that answer, to that question. No, I don't.
I view him as like a 1A to your B to
We've brought this team up before tonight. And it all depends on what they decide to do. I think the wife has something to do with it.
Sierra, Russ to Atlanta.
Yes.
Are we doing this again? Are we going to beat this drum again?
I was beating this drum the minute he freaking got ostracized out of freaking Denver. I've been beating this drum for a month.
You've been beating this drum before it was unveiled that he would have went to Denver. Before that like we've circled this sun before.
Yes.
Or doesn't this wait? The sun circles us. Hold on.
Here's the thing. Sun circles us, or whatever. I don't give a whatever. Okay. Here's the thing. If they decide to go young, this isn't going to happen. I've heard that too, Leafs. But I've heard
this
weird.
One a lot.
Okay, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, I hear this one a fuck ton.
Okay, I'm going to let you give your take, and then I'm going to throw one more out there that I have kind of heard as a sneaky.
Here's the thing. I don't see how this one plays out. I don't see how this one
not?
Works.
Raheem Morris would love a veteran quarterback.
And it would help also having a veteran quarterback, especially a competent veteran quarterback, would help disguise some of Morris's flaws.
Let me ask you this. Would you be okay? And I'm not saying go to this team, but I'm just hear me out. Would you be okay with Russell Wilson in Sean McVay's system?
I think that the Rams are fine with Stafford. They have
no. I agree, but I'm just saying, would you be okay with Wilson in that system?
Yeah,
because the OC is a disciple of McVay. That's my point. Veteran quarterback. He worked with McVay, worked with Stafford. If you brought in another veteran, Lord. I just saw
Seahawks jersey, not gonna lie. Seahawks are saving so much money by having fucking Geno play right now.
So what's your take? And then I have a random team I want to throw out there, but I want to see what you think first. When I say random, I mean one of those ones that you're talking about where people are like, "Oh, maybe this, maybe that," and it could work. So,
bro, I saw a random one today, and it was they were like, yo, Washington, go ahead and take a QB within those first 3 picks, and that's your starter come week 5, and bring Russell Wilson in for like those first 5 weeks. And I was like, yo, that's
not happening.
I was like, that's crazy. We don't need the whole Sam Howell Brissett thing, where like the fans wanted one thing and then another type of deal. Like, we don't need that bullshit. So no, fuck that. If we're gonna get a QB in the draft, we're gonna get a QB in the draft. With that being said, I really, really think that Russell Wilson, gosh, Minnesota maybe, Minnesota just runs it back with another veteran.
Yeah.
I like that because I feel like Minnesota, you have to kind of bail out of the Kirk Cousins situation, try something new, try something different. I don't think Justin Jefferson would mind having Russell Wilson, pitching the ball a couple of times down the field, and I think that still keeps that team at least somewhat competitive, quasi competitive in the NFC North.
Okay.
And that way you're not having to worry about Minnesota go for fucking JJ McCarthy.
Yeah, I don't know what I feel about that yet.
I don't know what I feel about Minnesota's quarterback position, what the fuck soever.
What about a team that has a new coach, a questionable coach hire, not looking good? And that's the only reason I don't know if Russ will go there, because they're not looking good. Not close to a chip, not close to a division title. What about going to Music City and going to
Tennessee?
Nashville, Tennessee?
I like that for Russ. I think I like that take more than anything else I've ever seen.
They don't have. Is Will Levis it? No.
Will Levis is not it. Will Levis is not even a backup, in my opinion.
I don't agree with you there.
Third string. You're right. He's a backup, third string. He's not second string.
Him or Drew Long?
Huh?
Would you take? Okay, here's the ultimate question for you. This is a Mike versus Robbie question right now. Will Levis or Sam Darnold?
I can't have my quarterback who puts mayonnaise in his coffee. So,
but you can have your quarterback who gets kissing disease.
Yeah, I'll take mono face.
Okay.
I'll take shovel face for sure. I'll take Sam Darnold.
Okay.
I'll take my chances there. Both are going to give me the same result. I'm up Shit's Creek without a fucking paddle either way.
Yeah.
So yeah. Both quarterbacks are scary hours. So
all right, who's the next person? I like this way we're doing this.
Yeah, I like the way that we're doing this. So I got Russ to Minnesota. You got Russ to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next player that we're going to talk about.
That's if they don't go young. But
yeah. Saquon Barkley.
Can we say it on 3? Because I think we both have the same answer.
3, 2,
1.
Texas.
Houston. Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Houston, baby. Let's go.
Yo, this honestly, I don't, aside from Houston maintaining as much consistency within the current build of the roster that they do have, I think that's one key element to Houston's success for next year. Hands down, I'm locking that in as a key to success for them. Houston with fucking Saquon. Done.
If he doesn't go to Houston, stay.
If he goes to Houston, that's what gets him into an AFC championship right there. That's the piece. That's your over the hump. I ain't gonna say Super Bowl. That gets you into an AFC championship right there. Because you had everything else already, and you were already close.
Yeah. And you did it with Singletary and Pierce.
8. And then if you just go Pierce and Saquon. and Saquon, oh my gosh. You gave your team the edge at that point. And at that point, Saquon doesn't have to fucking do as much work either. Because Stroud can put the rock down the field.
I completely disagree with this take. The next one.
Nutty offense. If not Houston, he should go to LA. He should go to LA to the Chargers. I don't not like that. It's just for the sake of the Chargers' success as a whole. I think having so much age on that roster, you need. If I'm the Chargers, I'm trying to get younger at running back.
All right, I'm going to bring it up. Do not bring this next comment up quite yet. I truly believe they give Eckler one more year with Harbaugh. Give him, see if this was last year, what the problem was. And I truly believe, you ready to hit it?
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe that they are going to draft Blake Corum. I truly believe that the Chargers are going to draft Blake Corum.
Imagine Harbaugh with a running back like Saquon after what he did with Corum. Anything better than Eckler's washed up ass.
But I think they give him a year to see if that is true.
Here's the thing with Eckler. I don't think that it's necessarily washed. I think that there's offenses that can be serviceable for him. If I'm Eckler, I'm probably just trying to get a bag, get a couple extra bags.
I think he retires before he goes and reaches for the bag, because he has money outside. Everything. Yeah, he has it outside.
Yeah, so he doesn't have to worry about anything. With that being said, if playing football is still your passion and what you really want to do, it's either ring chase or get bags.
Yeah.
And if anyone, if I I know that if Eckler were to do that,
ring chase.
I mean, if he ring chases, I think that everyone would be fine with that. I think that if it was the latter where he went and he bag chased, people would be pissed. Like there'd be like outrage. But realistically, like you're not doing the job that he's doing physically. Shut up. Let him do either or. And if I were to be able to sit back and chop it up with like I'd be like, yeah, bro, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Like do that. Like do that. Like those are your two decisions. Like I don't think that you can ring chase with Los Angeles right now.
Not right now.
Like Los Angeles has so much shit they got to figure out defensively in terms of pay. Like, dog, that situation is not even fucking funny.
So let me ask you, is it Mack, Bosa, and somebody else are thinking about cutting and trading?
Yeah, it's three. It's between like three fucking key pieces. Yeah, I know it's Mack, Bosa. I don't think the other one's James. I can't remember who it is. But
that's shitty.
Yeah, they're up. You want to talk about the defense side of the ball and a team that's up shit's creek without a paddle? Los Angeles situation gets fucking scary real fucking quick. But here's the thing. They can also maintain real fucking quick as well because they do really good scouting and drafting on that side of the ball. So whatever they lose,
they're going to get back.
They're going to, and it's LA. Players want to fucking play in big markets.
Hey, and they have a linebacker who didn't play much last year because of injury. That was a rookie last year. And Devon Hanley,
I don't think, it's not Tully who's the third player. I have it right. Hang on. I have it somewhere. I have who the other player is.
Was it a DB?
I think it is a fucking DB.
Davis?
Hang on. Williams.
Okay.
It's Williams. I mean, there's a tiny shot they can keep one. They'll be able to keep one. They won't be able to keep two.
I think Mack is gone.
I think Mack is gone.
I think that's.
I feel like you have to keep Bosa. I don't think that there's any conditions to keep you. I feel like you have to keep Bosa. Tully was a rookie last season, but you're talking about what? My fault. You're talking about.
But Tully is a rookie, but he wasn't the one I was actually thinking about. I'm just saying they have one that was hurt a lot that I think is going to be good. Who's the next one?
Final player that we have here on this list is Mike Evans. And I love so when I was typing this, I was like, hear me out before we get into this tape.
Oh yeah, I'm hearing you out.
When I was typing this up, right? I'm like, I literally say it out loud. Like as I'm typing, I look over at my girl. She's holding our daughter and shit. I'm like, T. Higgins is gonna get franchise tagged soon, so I ain't gonna talk about him right now. I was like, I'm gonna wait. I was like, I'm gonna wait until that news drops. I was like, I don't think that Higgins is gonna go anywhere. Like, she don't really know football, but she does. Like, she still listens to all my business ideas and shit. And I was like, fuck it, let's let the Mike Evans talk. So I deleted fucking Higgins' name out of the script. because I was like, it's gonna happen. I was like, I know it is. And I fucking plugged in Mike Evans. Bro, tell me how the fuck that works out for his show.
I want you to go first on this one.
I just gotta keep giving myself a pat on the back. That was crazy. That's good producing right there. That's some damn good fucking producing. So for Mike Evans.
Yes.
Here's the thing is that he has his pick of the litter. Mike Evans, because of him being Mike Evans, he can go get a bag any fucking where he wants. I could easily see Mike Evans come to Carolina, Mike Evans. I could see Mike Evans being like, I'll go to a dog shit team and take a big bag. I could see Mike Evans being like, Washington, what's up? Lives and dies by 1K seasons. Absolutely. Death, taxes, and Mike Evans going for 1K. He's QB proof. And that's what makes this situation so crazy to track, to where I really feel like more people need to be paying more attention to where he lands, because he's going to call the shots. It's not going to be the teams, I feel, that are going to call the shots, because he could still fucking go out there and ball. And because of that, I could see a team being like, yo, you want to take like this 2-year deal for a shit ton of fucking money and come play for us for a little bit, make a shit ton of money, help us be better. But I could also see him being like, hey, Kansas City. It's a fucking wide range of outcomes. He could be like, KC, what's up? But he could also be like, Commanders, what's up? This situation has the most wide range possible outcomes because of the caliber of player that he is. So he can demand whatever the fuck he wants. It's not the T. Higgins situation that we talked about earlier, and who was going to be in this original spot to close out the show. It's not like that. It's not like that. I don't see Higgins going to a bottom feeder for the sake of success, or for the sake of like.
Yeah,
I feel like Higgins is going to be like, no, let me compete. Let me get mine right now while I'm in my prime, while I still can. Evans can do either or. And honestly, I don't think he'll give a fuck either way.
No.
So my two predictions, I'll give two teams for Evans. I think he ends up with the Chiefs, or he ends up in Washington, because Washington's like, hey, yo, I'll throw you a bag.
All right. Okay, so I am not going to say one of the teams that I was originally going to say, because you just did for me.
The Chiefs?
Yeah. I'm not going to – I was going to say it, but I want to go a different route, because one thing you brought in my head and another thing – and one of the teams that I was thinking in my head was T. Higgins related. And one, I wasn't even thinking this until what you brought up about chasing the bag.
He has too much control. He has too much control over his own situation. In a good way. In a good way. I mean that in a good way first.
Okay. So the first one I'm going to bring up is if he wants to try to get another ring, but also help a team out, but can also win could also help out a young team. But if something else doesn't happen, because they're not going to do a double dip, a team that I thought T. Higgins can go to is the Houston Texans.
And you think the Texans could go after Evans?
I think they could go after if now that Higgins is off the board.
If I'm the Texans, I don't know if I don't. If I'm the Texans, I'm knowing what I'm needing, and I'm needing to develop that backfield.
I know. I'm saying if they don't get Barkley, they're not. I'm saying if you don't get Barkley, you could go.
With the running back market, you think they go completely ass out? Like, even if they don't get Barkley, you think
I think they could get. I think they could draft somebody, and then use the vets.
I think that they're getting a veteran for sure. I think they're getting one of the top 5 available, whether it's Pollard even like I mean, I think that Houston is landing a fucking free agent running back.
I think that could happen, Pollard.
Like, he fits the
So
scheme.
my other one, I think is this is how I like my far-fetched shit because sometimes it works.
Yeah.
This is if he's going after the bag and doesn't give a shit about winning. And I apologize to someone on that is associated with this show. But no, I'm not apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to the chubby Long Islander who didn't come on the show tonight. Could he go to the New York Giants, go to the Big Apple? They need wide receivers. They don't they need that. They have slot guys only.
That could put if the Giants move Barkley to Houston, get Evans, that could put them in position to be top 2 in the NFC East. I don't think the Cowboys repeat next year. I think that too much has happened.
He could get that. Yeah. He could get that trajectory of the winning, but he could also get the bag in New York. And they like yes, but they like to do it. But they like to pay. But they like to pay up. They did it for Galladay.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
You're right. Well, New York, but here's the thing in New York's situation in that regard, they know they have to pay up.
Yeah.
Because of that right there.
Just like California.
Exactly. I don't know. Evans has a wide range of outcomes because of how much flexibility he has. I don't think if the Bucks didn't have to, I don't think they would necessarily be moving on.
No, I agree.
Yeah. I look at the Mike Evans situation. Huh?
Do you think there's a way they could try to keep Evans, but move Godwin, and move Palmer in?
No. Okay. I feel like this is what we saw with, Moss and Minnesota, where it's like, okay, you got to get ready to say goodbye. With Rice and San Fran, hey, you got to get ready to say goodbye. You guys and Tyreek, hey, you got to get ready to say goodbye. I think that this plays out.
I've never seen Evans as a have to be only in one uniform.
Yeah, I don't, and it'll. I think that it's time for him.
And he's got his ring.
Yep, and he has his ring. So that's what I think that also makes it to where, bro, you can do whatever the fuck you want. You can literally do whatever you want. Yeah. You don't even have to fucking play football anymore if you don't want to. Obviously, he does.
Yeah, he wants to.
So I see Evans. I see Evans still staying in red. I'll say that for sure.
Yeah.
And I could see him easily being like, Washington, what's up? I could easily see him being like, KC, what's up?
Dude, okay, as a Chase fan, I've been saying this off air to you for how long that I would love this guy, because the one thing we don't have is someone that can go up and get the ball in the end zone or on a jump ball that's not named Travis Kelce. And the second
that you have 2 twin towers, excuse me, I put that, but the second you have 2 big bodies, makes life very fucking difficult. We see this in other sports where height is a requirement.
We haven't had a guy like this, and I'm not saying he's as talented as Mike Evans. I'm just saying body type, trajectory, whatever. You played the position. We haven't had a box out guy like this since Dwayne freaking
Bowe. Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I said, you guys always find new ways to win. If I'm Mike Evans, I'm looking at either option. I'm calling whoever can give me the biggest bag, but then I'm also calling whoever gives me the best opportunity at a ring.
Let me ask you this question, because I saw this actually online. I forget who it was. Might have been SI. It could have been whatever site. And I know they're in the bottom of the bottom hole of the salary cap situation. But it would be a situation where I don't think you would go and try to get the bag either. they're possibly losing their number 2 wide receiver, even though I don't think he's very good. Do you think that he could end up on Buffalo?
I should have added the Gabe Davis situation to the show sheet. I do think that there is a possibility that he can end up in Buffalo because he can ring chase. Buffalo has an issue with the cap situation, though.
That's why I said, yeah.
And if I'm Buffalo, I have to stay as consistent as I can throughout the roster. So I don't know if I can bring in a Mike Evans. But if you get rid of a Gabe Davis, there's definitely a way. I think that Gabe Davis could possibly end up, and I spoke about this on Twitter with Troy King and also our homie Pang. I really think that he could end up, Mike Evans could very well find himself and stumble himself into Buffalo, and then Gabe Davis could stumble himself into Miami.
Gabe Davis to Miami is such a Gabe Davis move.
Gabe Davis,
I have never heard that yet. That is so Gabe Davis.
I'm really thinking. I'm like, yeah, I'm with this actually. So after having that discussion with Troy and Pang on Twitter, bro, I just started going through like Gabe Davis tape, and I started going through Miami tape as an offense as a whole, and I was like, oh, you had an extra home run hit to this motherfucker?
They fit.
Oh, it's such a fit.
Put him as their 3.
Yeah.
Take off the lid and let Waddle go back. Let Waddle do the medium stuff instead of having to go deep.
Oh my gosh, it'd be crazy. The Mike Evans in Detroit thing, I could see. When I think about scheme, when I think about fit, it becomes weird because that offense is already with the pieces that you have, you want to keep the pieces that you have right now happy.
Yeah.
Amon needs to remain the one. I don't know if you bring in a guy like Evans for like a 1-2 year deal, then have Amon take a step back and expect that you're going to maintain Amon. Amon, I think that you need to maintain and you need to make that a franchise type of guy. While you still have Jared Goff to pair with him, because Goff can absolutely get you to a Super Bowl and can absolutely fucking win you a Super Bowl. So I just don't see where sometimes you can have too many alphas in the room. You know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Alex Earl's boyfriend does TikToks. What the fuck?
Who the heck is Alex?
Other than that, any other takes? I feel like we covered the whole.
No,
week.
I mean we can do more free agency throughout the month.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like we covered the whole week in the NFL. A lot of talk. Right now, you got the HBCU combine, going down. Definitely check that out. I've been getting some behind the scenes footage from a couple of homies that are out there. And that shit's looking dope. Like it's looking dope. There's some guys out there that definitely need to look at. UFC Mexico PFL versus Bellator picks.
Brandon Moreno.
I can't even stunt. Can't even stunt. Not even.
Brandon Moreno. That's all I'm picking.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Like if I had more airtime, I'd go all the way through. Give me Moreno. I know Rojas is fighting. You got Rojas fighting, I think, for that card. Let's see here. Yep. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yair Rodriguez fighting on that card as well.
Oh yeah.
Give me Moreno. Give me Moreno. Give me Rodriguez. Give me Rosas. And those are like the only 3 that I'm giving for that card.
Gotcha.
Bader versus Ferreira. Winner gets Francis.
Yeah. Bader. Francis
Bader.
kicks his ass.
Yeah, then Francis is obviously gonna.
Don't get me wrong, I love him, but
All right. Other than that, that's been Rumboyz After Dark, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rumboyz Robbie. That's Drop the Mic FF. Check out all the sponsor links down below. Our underdog is down there. I'll after this goes live, I'll get the link down below for the Fantasy Football Expo. Let's push some tickets. Let's get some tickets out there. I want to fucking see all of you guys. I want to see all of you guys like live and in person. Tell your parents like I want to go to Ohio in August. Like, yeah, like trust me, it's gonna be litty. It's gonna be litty. Other than that, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboys and girls, what it do. Dilly dilly. We out here. It's Rumboyz After Dark, baby.
Dilly dilly.